Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I'm going to get my crowbar out and we're going to play some Half-Life. This remains one of my favourite games on any system, any platform. And well, here we are in the resonance chamber. And well, shit's got real. So I've got to leave this room and activate this eye scanner, a retinal scanner. There we go. Now, clearly everything's broken, and this is the Black Mesa Research Laboratory, and I'm playing as Gordon Freeman. This is one of the best and greatest first-person shooters ever created by Valve, and frankly, this was my first real introduction to a PC shooter, shooter, i.e., using a mouse to aim the reticule, etc. Prior to this, I'd played GoldenEye on the N64, and eventually I came across this when my then girlfriend's dad, bought a copy of Half-Life for his new computer. And he wanted to test out the computer, he wanted to see what it could do, so he got Half-Life. He'd heard great things about it, and he wanted to see how smoothly it would run. And it ran very smoothly. I very much enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the balance of action and story.
Warn them. I never thought I'd see a resonance cascade.
No, indeed.
Let alone create one. Gordon, you're alive. Thank God for that hazard suit. I'm afraid to move him, and all our phones are out. Please get to the surface as soon as you can, and let someone know we're stranded down here. You'll need me to activate the retinal scanners. I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you.
I'm sure they will. So yes, the story and action balance was perfect. And for example, you need to solve puzzles such as...
Fine. You won't even know I'm here.
Come on, this way. He needs to open this for me, and I can get through that door. As you progress through the laboratory, through the facility, it's a huge area. The story progresses almost seamlessly, and so do new action elements, so new enemies, new hazards, new weapons. And in that sense, this really was, I once heard someone call it a thinking man's shooter, and I think that's the case. It is, it's very much the situation that, this appeals to me on an intellectual level as much as it does a game level. For example, the design is amazing. I mean, even the graphics aren't that good compared to today's standards. For example, these color bars on the wall actually act as an in-game reference. They sort of help you around this initial area of the laboratory. That's a head crab, by the way. I need to get out of the way of that. So I think just around the corner we'll see that if you were looking for somewhere in the lab, which you do towards the beginning of this story, you need to try and find the changing rooms, get into your hazard suit. All you need to do is follow the directions, so that they're on the wall over there. We'll take a closer look in a moment once this laser's splattered that guy. So yeah, I really appreciated the fact that this was a navigable space which was designed in a realistic way. And that just sort of sucks you in, because as you go along, you essentially learn the story with the main character. You also, for example, get iconic weapons like this, the crowbar, which other shooters would copy later on, because it's been so influential, your first weapon being essentially a melee type like this. Ooh. But you never know more than Gordon in terms of what the hell's going on. What's been unleashed in the Black Mesa complex, who's following you. For example, the G-Man, this man in a suit, who follows actually Gordon throughout his adventures. He's right at the beginning of Half-Life 2, for example. No. Ah! Now the controls are a little bit quirky. So, for example, at the top of the ladder there, you have to really concentrate so you don't fall down while you're jumping and moving forward at the same time. But again, that's just because the game is of its time. I became rather enamoured with this game, and as soon as I needed a laptop for, there we go, for university, this was one of the first games I tried to get for it. And thankfully,
And why are they wearing science team uniforms?
where are you? Oh, is that the dead guy talking to me? Weird. Yes, one of my main criteria for getting a laptop in uni was that it could play Half-Life, and it kept me very happy. It was especially in my first year at uni. I particularly enjoy the way in which they have mashed up the genres. So you have a shooter, you have a sort of a B movie, like the use of lighting here, and these sort of headcrab zombie creatures, and you have a sort of a light puzzle element. So you never quite get used to one thing over the other. If they're challenging you with a puzzle, then they'll throw a horror element at you. If they're scaring you with horror, then they'll introduce a puzzle element. For example, at the moment it's all quite horrific, isn't it? We turn off the alarm over here. There we go. And I've got to go in here. I can't go out that door because the blast door's closed. So here we go with the puzzle. There's a head crab. I need to get rid of that guy if I can. Let's see. There we go. Thank you. And yes, we're about to be confronted with a fairly light puzzle. Now this is also actually, by the incident, before you go ahead, this is the time when first aid came in boxes off on the wall, or med kits. So I need to use that to recharge my health. Excellent. So, right, where have we got to go? I've got to go up there, I think. Let's see. Fairly light puzzle elements. Oh, platforming, I suppose, actually. Up we go. Crouch. But I've never really seen anything like this in a game. This is exploratory, isn't it? This is exploration. And, for example, in GoldenEye, yes, I was expected to... Oh, there you go. That man's going to emerge as a... Oh. Again, horror in the game. It sucks you in. Yeah, even though, yes, you'd be expected to maybe play the same level over and over and achieve different different mission objectives in GoldenEye, you weren't really exploring in the same way. And while this is linear by some modern day games standards, it is nonetheless an unfolding exploration of the Black Mesa complex, and I very much appreciated that. I'm definitely always a sucker for worlds in games, or in even in not these guys, or even in, for example, toys. And this game delivers. Now these dogs are really annoying. Yep. Okay, let's see. There we go. The sound design is superb as well. I think you'll agree. That noise is freaky, especially when you can't see what's producing it. And here we're about to see... Oh, yep. Bits of the scientist. That's horrible. A bit wasteful as well. You'd think that they'd eat him. Anyway. The sound design is magnificent, and again, it really helped us sell everything. There's the G-Man watching us. Who are you, G-Man? Explain yourself. Oh. Now, sadly, I think I've got auto-aim on, but this particular instance of Half-Life is being a little bit finicky on Windows 10, so I don't want to pause the game and take auto-aim off, so you'll have to just bear with me, folks. If auto-aim offends you, apologies. Right, where are we? Okay. Okay, hello. Oh! Shit. Now these guys actually in the second game would sort of become allies of the freedom movement. which I found very strange when I first saw my first friendly alien in the second game. Okay, can I? Yes, that's it. Now I seem to recall I need to... Do I need to go down there? I think I need to go down there. Okay. There we go. So yes, the whole environment thing and well-designed space continues into, for example, sewer areas, mechanical areas, and eventually, for example, Valve would become famous for their robotics actually in games. Obviously, with the Portal series, you know, especially in Portal 2. Right, I gotta get to the before I drown. Where is he? There he is. Oh no, come on. So there you go. So there you go. There's a mild environmental puzzle element. Flood the tunnel, emerge into the room with the deadly creature. Again, I can sort of see why to the modern eye some of this stuff isn't impressive. But back in the day when I first played this, things like that flowing water, this flowing material here, it was just impressive. It was stuff which, again, I hadn't seen on any other platform. And this is possible, well, not even possible, this is an argument that really PC gaming has always been ahead of the curve in that respect. Now, this next section here, I know I'm going to die. Let's see what happens. And if I die, let's leave the video there, shall we? Oh, so basically I'm going to get lots of monsters emerging down here. Ah! And as I go down on that platform, they're just going to keep on jumping down. Okay, let's see if I can do this with... Oh, I need more life. Okay. I'm not going to go down yet. Let's see if I can get some health. Didn't expect to die so quickly. Nope, I can't get more health. Okay, let's see what happens. I've trapped myself in a very awkward situation. Right. There we go. Okay. Come on, head crabs. Dares ya. Now you can actually dive out of the way of these if you're a bit clever. They sort of jump towards you. Oh, okay, and there we go. And okay. Okay. Oh. You just need to pay attention for the ones that don't. Okay, I ended up in a sewage masher. Let's leave it there, shall we? But nonetheless, this game is magnificent. It is, and it will always be so important for, I suppose, what I expected from a computer game, you know, in terms of the storytelling, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the thinking, in terms of the engaging with you as the player. And Half-Life as a series has gone on to be a leading series. You know, when Half-Life 2 came out, the new graphics engine, the physics engine in particular, was groundbreaking. And I suppose that leaves the elephant in the room, and that is, when is Half-Life 3 coming? Not that I'm eager to see what happens after Half-Life 2 Episode 2, with that ridiculous cliffhanger ending. Anyway, guys, Half-Life, if you haven't played it, give it a go. I know it might look a bit rough around the edges by modern graphical standards, but this game is such a classic and so important for the evolution of gameplay. Not just run and gun, but actually run, gun, think, platform, narrative, and actually investing you in the character itself. Yeah, there's a reason why this game is on so many people's top lists of influential games. So if you haven't tried it, give it a go. And that's really all I have to say about that. So until next time, do take care. Bye bye.